Hi, my name is Darren Heartwell. I'd like to welcome you to our championship profiles for 2017. I'd like to introduce our 2017 NTPA Grand National two-wheel drive champion, Jessie Petro, with the Buckeye Hauler. Congratulations, Jessie.
Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it a lot.
Jessie is a 7-time NTPA Grand National champion. He won it in 2009 with his other truck two-timing. He's won it in 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, and now 17 with Buckeye Hauler. His father, Randy, won it in 2010 and 2011 with Kathy's Complaint, so they now have 9 titles in a row for the Petro Motorsports Team. Jessie, tell us a little bit about this year.
Well, like 2016, it started off pretty bad for Buckeye Hauler. For whatever reason, that truck doesn't like Benson on Friday night. But after that, it come back and got second on Saturday night, and went to Toma, and we were actually testing something with some tires, and it made okay runs. The placings were down, but it wasn't terrible points wise. Went to Ionia and had a good solid finish on one night, and then went to Brandenburg and had a really good weekend from there on.
Great. So you took the lead the first time in Wapakoneta with 4 hooks to go, so kind of poured it on strong again like in 2016.
Yeah, I guess the truck lives up to its name. It really likes Ohio, dirt. So I think that that really helps it there kind of come on strong, towards the latter part of the season. So I was pleased with the way the truck performed there later on in the year.
Great. Now, what would you say was the biggest challenge of 2017?
Obviously, the amount of quality trucks running, and the quality of trucks running that are teamed up. That was definitely evident, from Bowling Green on. There are a lot of different teams working together, and that's okay. That's part of it. Obviously we have multiple trucks to combat that to some extent. So a lot of good trucks, a lot of good people running those trucks who continue to make more runs. To continue to get their database bigger and stronger too. So our equipment held together very, very well. I was very pleased with that all season. The amount of breakage that we had was very minimal, so that part of it I was pleased with. So just a lot of good trucks and a lot of good people trying to beat us.
Right. So what would you say was the highlight of your season?
It was kind of anticlimactic at Canfield getting rained out, but obviously winning the championship, finishing first and second again with Dad.
Yeah, that's got to be an awesome accomplishment.
Right. Yeah. It really is. We struggled with Joey's new truck for most of the year, and unfortunately we just found the issue a little too late, in the point season to be able to get that thing back up towards the front there, but. Winning the championship, obviously qualifying for the Interleague pull-off is a huge deal. To get 2 trucks in that's probably the 2 biggest things.
Awesome, congratulations. So again, it's a 4-truck team. Jessie led the points early on with his other truck, the P5 truck, and then that truck also finished in the top 10 in Grand National.
It did, yeah. It made 2 bad runs essentially all year, and that really, it really hurt in the point standings with so many trucks running. Just one of those deals where I don't know if it was anything wrong with the truck or anything the way I drove it. It just didn't make good runs in 2 different spots, and it really cost it. I think otherwise it could have been in the top 5 like it was last year. But that's how it goes. That's pulling. You got to learn from it. You got to write down what you did and try not to do it again next year. Try to improve on it. So
right. Now the Petro team placed 4 trucks in the top 11 in Grand National points, and also won the region for the 2nd year in a row with Kathy's Complaint. Vintage Kathy's Complaint,
right, yeah.
The vintage edition.
Yeah.
So very strong running team, run on the region and Grand National circuit. Tell us a little bit about that. What goes into running on both circuits and having multiple trucks in your stable? Tell us a little bit about.
Well, I think we're so fortunate where we live in the state of Ohio, close to the Ohio-Indiana border and I-70, that we can hit so many hooks within a 3 or 4 hour radius, even into Michigan. So, there's with being a limited number of Grand National hooks, there's plenty of time to hit a lot of the Region 2 stuff. So we try to go and support those events that neat trucks, and I kind of look at it like we're getting paid to go test.
Right.
There was not very many instances where we didn't go to a region hook with one of the trucks that was running and wasn't trying something different, whether it be tires, blowers, injectors, whatever it is, or even just the setup in general, that we said, okay, we're going to go here and this is what we're going to run, because it didn't necessarily matter, points wise for that truck,
Right,
whether it be
right.
a Grand National truck or, even the region trucks to some extent. So it just takes a little bit more, I don't want to say preparedness, but, just more maintenance time, so that part of it. Luckily, when Joey's there every day and Dad and I, we can get a lot of things done if it's normal routine maintenance.
Right.
And a lot of times that's what it was all summer. So we
Great.
was really pleased with that. The amount of runs that we made. It was probably, we're probably over the 180 run mark for 2017 across the board with all the trucks. So making that amount of runs, I was pleased with the minimal amount of parts damage.
That's great, great. Now, in the past, your team has had an unlimited modified. I think your dad started out back in the four-wheel drive division, way
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
You guys have had a mini in the past. Any thought of going into some other divisions, or strictly? Obviously, you have a big focus on two-wheel drive with all the trucks on your team.
Yeah, I mean, the mini rod was fun.
Yeah.
I never drove it, but it's an incredible class right now.
Right, right.
And when we had one, it worked really well with the schedule. It was our spare motor. It was our movable engine stand. So we would have a spare motor for the two-wheel drive and get to run that thing. But the way the schedule is now, they kind of veer off in different places. So that was a lot of fun. And we actually had another modified chassis about a year and a half ago, and was going to put it together to be able to run the light unlimited and some region mod class and stuff. And it's just, we've been down that road before, and we
Right.
know that it takes away from the other class that you're running in.
Right.
And we just kind of made the decision that the amount of money that it takes and the amount of time and effort and what it takes away from the two-wheel drives, we just decided to sell it and just focus on two-wheel drive pulling. And I think that's part of it, why we try to go to so many region hooks, is that we're trying to support those events that need trucks, that that other people can't get to,
Right,
during
right.
the week for work reasons, family reasons, or whatever. That show still needs supported, to continue to have that class,
Right,
and to
right.
continue to have that event, and we're trying to learn something as we go.
Absolutely. I think it's a win-win situation. I mean, definitely the event gets the benefit of having some great trucks, and several of them when you guys show up, and you guys have the ability to test and tune and try some new combinations.
Yeah.
So tell us, who would you like to thank as far as your sponsors?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank my mom and dad, for all the opportunities that they've given me. Joey, obviously he's a big part of the team. My girlfriend Jessica and my little girl Audrey, they get to go some, not as much as I'd like, but with the way the schedule works out, luckily a lot of them are in Ohio, and they do get to come to several events, with us. Our crew, Justin and Brandon Dake and Alex Honikin, they do such a great job for us, staging the trucks and getting them ready, things like that. It makes it really nice to be able for Dad to get to the starting line and watch the track while we're getting the trucks and things ready. The companies, obviously Bob Miner at NBR, him and Adam Kester do a great job of getting us the parts and pieces that we need, to be able to keep these things at the front like that. And Chuck Ford does a lot of our supercharger work, and obviously that's a big part of the engine these days, is the supercharger program. So